quick little tiny house update. Those of you who were, I had a whole lot of reaction to the questions I posed at the end of my last video, and I really do appreciate it. I've come up with some great ideas and whatnot. And one of the things that I came up with on my own was that the butting the flat edges together wasn't really going to work. I didn't like the idea of exposing the Tyvek or the paper or whatever I put behind it. So those of you who are suggesting the let's see, I've had landscape cloth, 15-pound tar paper, I've had burlap as a suggestion, and I had craft paper. Those are all great ideas. Don't get me wrong at all. Those are like the burlap idea and the landscape paper. Actually, those two kind of, I was like, that might actually be a good idea. But I don't need to do that, because what I'm doing is, as you can see by these, the one edge is 45, and then the other edge is partially 45 with like 1/8 of an inch of flat. Now, this flat side is jointed straight, and the faces are all planed or sanded depending on the boards. And so when they go together, they actually lap. And so if there's any shrinkage or shift in it over time, they've got about 3/8 of an inch. They'd both have to move before they could actually expose what's behind them. So I think that I will be just fine, and it gives a pretty cool effect. The little grooves along there and such. It's kind of the poor man's way of doing tug and groove. So now, one thing I will tell you that I'm doing is that I'm putting that smooth edge facing up, and then the next piece will drop in behind this, the point will. Now that does mean that that joint is facing down to the inside of the wall. However, since this is on the inside and the chances of water splashing up on it are minimal, I mean, granted, right here in the kitchen area, that could be a concern, but I can also seal, as I put it in, those areas that are of high risk at that, and then I won't worry about it too much on the rest of it. Because once it's all up, I plan on spraying it with a satin-based polyurethane to give it some protection. So I think I'll be okay. I can tell you this. So far, all I've been doing is pallets. So 3 days, and I got about 68 square feet. I'm like, gonna have to make this move a little faster. So I did go out to the barn, and I brought a load of short stuff and small stuff that's like 4 foot to 6 foot long up to the shop, and I started cutting it up, and I'm resawing on the bandsaw, and then I'll plane it. And I'm not too concerned about a uniform thickness. I'm kind of trying to stick between 9/16 and 7/16. So we're at close to a 1/2 inch. If some of it drops to 3/8 or some of it's at 5/8, I'll probably be okay with that. Although the 5/8, I might take it down a little further. I mean, not much further to get down to 9/16. But that's what the siding is going to look like. Now, one of the neat effects that I got, and I wanted to show you this, it's real obvious here, is on the long boards that go down the middle of the pallet, that the short ones are actually, or the I don't know what they call them in a pallet. I don't know proper pallet terminology. But anyway, the runners inside the pallet were, of course, like 2x4 or thicker. So I split them on the bandsaw and then planed them. And the nails where the boards were nailed down, the nail holes showed up in the faces of them. And I was like, you know what? That's a really cool effect. So that's going to be showing on the walls in places. And some of them have a lot. But anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. I think it'll look really neat. So, but anyway, I'm probably going to be doing this in smaller lots than I thought. I was thinking I would just make it all and then put it all on. Yeah, that might not happen. Because I'm going to have such a big stack by the time I get done that I won't have room to work. So I'm going to get, I don't know, probably 200 or so square feet ready, and then come in and put that on, and then go back and make more and put that on, and go back and make more and put that on, until I reach my I think it's pretty close to 800 square feet worth of stuff. So also on the bottom, I decided down here at the floor, I'm going to put a 5-inch piece because I plan to use a base that's done with a natural edge facing up, and a 5-inch width at the bottom gives me a room so that the natural edge doesn't like cross this and like that and make a little gap in behind it where bugs can get into or whatnot. So natural edge is kind of a pain in the butt to clean, but I'm not leaving the bark on. I'm taking the bark off, just leaving the natural edge of the log. So, and that should all be walnut. I think I've got enough to do that. So anyway, but I wanted to give you that little update, and I wanted to tell you all that I really appreciate all the suggestions and comments that I got on the questions that I had. That's just fantastic. I am going to go with the Tyvek, mainly because I do have it, and I think that, and it's brought up in several of the comments, that this inner wall does need to breathe, especially with a wood-sourced heat source and such. So we're definitely going to go that route. You know, like I said, I already have it, and it's really easy to go ahead and put it up there. So I'll be doing the Tyvek, and then we'll start the siding. I've also got to get my sheetrock for the corner and the Dura rock for over there. The problem I'm having is that my truck decided to throw a CV joint on the front end. So it's a Dodge 4x4, and it's got CV joints coming off of the front axle, and one of them decided to pop the ball bearings out. So I'm not driving the truck very much right now, which makes it very limited on what I can go to pick up. So sheet goods like sheetrock for the shower is not happening right now. The parts are supposed to be here Thursday, and Will is going to help me get them put in on Friday. So it might be a little bit longer between the fourth and fifth tiny house videos. I'm going to call this one 4.5 because it's just more of an update. But anyway, thanks guys for all your support. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you soon enough. All right, bye.